Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here with another episode of Google Earth VR with Oculus Touch. Today we are looking at a city that you may or may not recognize. This is Boston, and being a Fallout 4 fan majorly, I thought how cool would it be if we were to actually look around the actual Boston at some of the sites of Boston, sort of get a feel of the scale, because one thing that Bethesda had to do was scale down Boston so the player wasn't walking literally hundreds of miles to get from one place to another. So the most easy place to go is here at the Boston airport, and of course this is where the Brotherhood of Steel parked the Prydwen. We actually have, pretty cool, we have a Southwest Airlines plane there parked up at the gates. So this is a pretty big place. You never recognize it from the outside here, because the airport was pretty much in tatters when the Brotherhood of Steel picked it up. But some of these terminals here are kind of familiar in the game. But the landmarks that they included are very good. And let's go back out to space so I can show you. Let's zoom out so we can get some of the landmarks as we see Boston Logan International Airport. First, I would like to go to here, Castle Island, and you might recognize this as Castle, the meeting place of the Minutemen. Once you do Minutemen quests and you are told about the castle, this is the entryway here into Castle. Let us zoom in and let it do some rendering. Can't really see much with all these trees in the way, but let's get up on the walls that you may be familiar with. And there are some cannons that are still there on castle walls. This is looking out toward the bay, and pretty cool stuff. Over in this direction was where the Mirelurk Queen came plowing through, and over here would be the place where you tested the artillery for the first time. They would be trying to come up through here in the main entranceway, and you shot artillery over here, and this is actually not a neighborhood, but a port, a shipping container. Let's see, they got a small monument here outside of Castle. It's almost like a mini bunker hill, which we will definitely visit. But this is Castle, Minutemen HQ. Let's get to our next location. Let's tilt the Earth back up and see what we can see here. So this is Boston Harbor here, and right away we see the Old North Church. So let's take a gander at that Old North Church, shall we? And this is nestled right here in this neighborhood. No Paul Revere statue out front as before, but let's go right down into the street. And this is the Old North Church, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. That's where they put the lanterns and Paul Revere riding up, but it feels a lot more crammed than in the game. But this is where the railroad would be located along the Freedom Trail. Speaking of Freedom Trail, let's see what else we can see. Here is Boston Common, as said by the Securitron, the Protectron. Over here, I'm guessing, would be Swan's Lake. Sort of, you know, I don't see any flamingos or anything such as that, but right over here is this monument right here in the middle of the square of Boston Common. Looks like almost like a one of those Jiffy Pop popcorn skillets. But over here is Park Street Station. So this is actually where you would go in and go rescue Nick Valentine. Right over here in Park Street Station. So pretty cool. It's right off of Boston Common. So this is the sites that you would see if you were in the Boston Common here. tilt the good old Earth back up and get our bearings once more and see exactly where we are. So let's see if there's anything else that we can take a look at. The Massachusetts State House. Yeah, we can take a gander at that. That was in the game. No, this is from the trailer, how people recognize right away that it was Boston without a shadow of a doubt. The main character was standing on a building looking at another building with a golden dome. So this would be the Massachusetts State House, just off of Boston Common. I'm getting a feeling like a raider's gonna like pop out and start shooting at me from downtown there. Let's continue on here. There's Paul Revere Park. And over here, yes, we must take a look at this. So this is the inspiration of the greatest side quest in Fallout 4. Fight me if you disagree, but the USS Constitution is parked right over here. So this is the, whoop, I overshot just a bit, but here is the USS Constitution. No rocket engines, unfortunately, but let's hop up here on the deck if we can. Looks like they were doing some construction here. And here we go. This is where old Ironsides would be saying, "Damn you, Weatherby Savings and Loan, I spit at you." Now, we don't know exactly where this ended up. You could sort of get a rough idea from the map. Certainly, if we gave this a broadside, this isn't what we were seeing. Over here isn't a tower where we would send the Constitution off to slam into a skyscraper. So I'm thinking that the Constitution actually sort of flew and ended up over in this general area. But here is the USS Constitution. I love you, Ironsides, and damn you, Weatherby Savings and Loan. I wish that was a real place, Weatherby Savings and Loan, because I would actually go spit on it. All right, now let's head down in here to downtown, see if there is anything we can find. See, so this would be Diamond City, Fenway Park. So of course we are going to take a look at Diamond City. Diamond City would be approached from this side. This is where the Diamond City security would be. The super mutants were over here in a building, and this would be the rear entryway. So no extravagant green door. Not saying that it doesn't exist, that it wasn't on one of these, but I actually took a lap around this thing trying to find that baseball statue, and I mean, the closest I could find on Google Maps is back here in the parking lot and the ramp in, so I imagine this is a contractor entrance. I'm not entirely sure. I've actually never been to Fenway Park before. But yeah, no baseball statue out front, no giant green door. That would definitely be for story and effect. But if we were to come out of the dugout here, or the, little bit tinny, but there would be a tunnel that comes right back through here, and this is where we would pop out at. Diamond City. Up here would be Mayor McDonough's office. Kellogg's house would be right over there. This would be Takashi's noodle stand, Nanshimaska, and you would run the bases. It'd be cool if there was actually like a Diamond City Fallout 4 VR, and I know they're working on it for HTC Vive, so hopefully Oculus is supported as well. But over here is where you meet the painter that you have to go mix the blue and yellow paint, get your green. Over here is where the rivers would sort of be, and Travis's radio station would be over here. Pretty cool stuff to stand on the field of both Fenway Park and formerly, or laterally, Diamond City. So let's zoom out once more and see what else we have. Of course, we need to find Bunker Hill, which is right back here past the USS Constitution. Let's zoom on into Bunker Hill, which is located right here. So standing at the steps of Bunker Hill, no walls to restrict you. And here we are coming up the steps. There's a statue here, and this is the Bunker Hill Monument. The traders would be set up back here. The walls would be up all around, and there would be Synths and Brotherhood of Steel fighting in the streets here. What would be cool is to trace Liberty Prime's approach to CIT, to the Institute. So Bunker Hill is right here, and MIT/CIT is right here. So this is the Institute. Let's zoom right on in. So this is where Liberty Prime would be standing, about yay high, throwing his nukes right here in the courtyard in front of the Institute. So you can see pretty much how far of a walk that actually is. CIT is over here, and Bunker Hill, let me see, I lost it. I know it was past right here. So Liberty Prime's march from the airport, which is way the crap over there, I don't see how he got over here. I mean, he could walk this way, and then he stormed up the street here, and then he found the Bunker Hill Monument, which he engaged his patriotic salute protocol, and then he marched his happy rear end from here across the highway, probably down this road, I would say, across the highway, down this road, and along the river to the Institute here. Let's see. Where would Diamond City be? Diamond City. Trying to find where Diamond City is / Fenway Park. So this would be the bridge that the USS Riptide is stuck under. Right here. This would be raised up part way. Looks like a train line runs right through here, and maybe that's what caused the wreck of the Riptide. They hit these train tracks, but you would come across and make your way to the left, and you would eventually find Diamond City right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have found Faneuil Hall. This is the Faneuil Hall Marketplace, and here she is in all her glory. Let me back up just a touch here. This would be where some super mutants would be up on scaffolding, and here's the ramp down. Oh, now this is trippy. Quite a few times I've been coming up through here, and then I'm coming down this ramp, and what do I see on the other side of this building but a rocket launcher toting super mutant? Oof. Gotta hate it. But this is the view from Faneuil Hall. Pretty nice skyscrapers around there. Now, those are some of the sites here in central Boston. Let me see if I can find the library real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I look for the library, and I'm not going to hop out of VR to see where that is and then find that. But right here, we have Walden Pond. So this is where Henry David Thoreau spent 2 years away from the sights and the sounds of the bustling public life, and sat he by the pond. Fascinating. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And that's not Henry David Thoreau, that's actually Lewis Carroll, but I digress. So just up north from, northeast from Walden State Pond is actually Hanscom Air Force Base, and this is what makes me believe that the USAF post was inspired by this particular location here. And here is Concord, where we would run down from Sanctuary. So essentially, based off of just sheer location, and I'm not exactly sure, I'm sure someone has plotted exactly where Sanctuary would be, but it's almost like Sanctuary would be sort of here in this general area, sort of like this little subdivision or something like that. sanctuary might indeed be out here in the boonies, away from Boston. We can't see downtown from here, but Boston's just over there, which means the bomb dropped somewhere over there. Let's see if we can find a good place where the bomb may have dropped. I'm sure with locations it may have been actually plotted, but maybe say maybe Farmingham, perhaps, maybe Wayland, if they were aiming for Boston. Let's see, southwest of Boston, just based off the scale, maybe something like here, Milford, might have been hit. So that's an awful long walk from here all the way up to back to Boston. Let's see if there's anything else we can get into here in Boston that I may have missed. Well, one thing that I do realize is Boston's here and we have Salem up here. And of course, Salem is known for their witch museum, and we would be amiss if we did not check out one of the most daunting places in Fallout 4, the Salem Witch Museum, which is located right here in the corner. I tell you, this doesn't seem correct in the grand scheme of Fallout, but here's the Witch Museum. There is a death claw, a very powerful death claw, right in there. And I know Salem is a smaller village in Fallout 4, but when we zoom out, Salem is actually pretty big. I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to Boston, of course, but the Witch Museum right in there, and the way in, because the front doors are barred, would be right over here in this, I guess this is connected, this little entryway here perhaps. It's a trap door in the game to get you in there, but here is the Salem Witch Museum, and you can see how far away we actually are from Boston. When I zoom out, there's the Salem Witch Museum right there, dead center, keeping it in the screen. Boston is way over there, so if you're walking from Boston to Salem, you have quite the walk ahead of you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I found the library. Let's zoom right on in. It says that the Boston Public Library is just over here somewhere. Where are you? Ah. You it? Yes, there you are. Yeah. So the Boston Public Library, right here, as you can see. Let's go down to Street View. So this is where the super mutants were hiding out. You actually entered in that door right over there, and a nice view right here in downtown of this building. It's failing me what this building is, and then we've got this tall thing here. Maybe this is the Mass Fusion building, or Mass Fusion took over one of these buildings here. So this is Copley Square that we're standing in here. So the Boston Public Library right over here, Copley Square, and it definitely feels like there's a raider around every single corner. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, to close the video out, I figure what better way than to just get a nice bird's eye view of Boston from this very tall building here. Diamond City just over there, just a small, smidgen. The wreck of the USS Riptide, the river that runs through the middle. Let's see, CIT/MIT. Be over there somewhere. I mean, it's crazy to think the amount of distance you would have to actually walk if you were here doing Fallout 4 right here, right now, in this real-size world. If someone wants to make a Fallout 4 rescaled and actually put everything as they are, that would be quite difficult indeed. But here we are, the pristine and modern setting of Fallout 4, the actual Boston, and I hope you were able to see just how much distance is in between the points of interest that you bounce to and from just so easily. But I think we'll end the video here at Bunker Hill, just standing here at the monument, and we'll just take in the courtyard and the magnificent beauty of Bunker Hill and the crooked windows of Boston. You know what? Let's do it right. Old Ironsides would have my head if we did not end this thing at the Constitution. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty cool experience to see how things are laid out, actually to see how big the mass of the Constitution are, and to see the Constitution as she sits now. That'd be actually cool if people were to do like museums like this in VR, so you could take a walk through the actual USS Constitution. But that is going to do it for me in this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that little look around Boston. If you are a Boston native and I missed something, which I know I did, let me know. And for all of us that have played Fallout 4 and have never been to Boston, it's an eye-opening experience for sure. But that's going to do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. And I will see you in the next Oculus Touch video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and take care.